What is up, y'all? It is late and I've been running and running. I am back to work. So, getting off of work late, having to wake up early in the morning for work. I was late today. I just got to get my mind back into the swing of things. But nevertheless, I am doing a review for Abbott Elementary, my favorite show in the entire world. It's just like so wholesome and funny and quirky. And it's like truly brings me joy every Wednesday to be like, look at Quinton M doing it big too. So this episode is entitled Teacher Appreciation, and it is episode 18 from season 2. So without further ado, welcome back to Authentically RGB TV, better known as AAB TV. Now let's get into this recap. So this whole episode, y'all, was drama over here, drama over there. All about relationships, if should we say. So it starts off with everybody in the lounge as usual. And in comes Greg with this hat on. And to describe this hat, I was like, I've seen this hat before. Do y'all remember Curious George? The man with the yellow hat? I think it is the yellow suit, the yellow hat, something yellow. And it looked like that. And it had like the pointed top. And he walked in trying to have a different little swag. He was feeling himself, and then leave it to your friends to just clown you and let you know like that ain't it, bruh. And that's exactly what they was doing. It was literally one after the other, just telling him, like joking on him about how ugly the hat was or how it didn't suit him. Like, why did he even bring it? And then y'all, before that scene went away, Mr. Johnson, the custodian, had the nerve to take the hat and put it on after Greg like just threw it off and was just like over it. And everybody was like, oh yeah, it looks good on you. And I was just like, really, y'all? But to be all the way real, it did look a lot better on Mr. Johnson. It kind of that on Greg, it was like, yeah, what are you doing? So pretty much this entire episode, like I said, was about just different relationships with people. And one of the relationships within the school was the teachers and the staff and the students and the parents and all of that. So this whole entire week is teacher appreciation. And for those of us who work in the school system, who are in classrooms and things like that, like myself, we know all about Teacher Appreciation Week. It's or day, however it goes wherever you live. And so, you're getting, for the ones from the families and the students that know, like, they're giving you presents or gift cards or cards, just something sweet to let you know, like, hey, we know that we appreciate you. We know that you do work really hard. So here's a gift to just commemorate that. And they have it for pretty much every role in the school system. And this particular episode, they were talking about how basically the district doesn't really give two craps about appreciating the teachers. It's always the students bringing in the candles or the body lotions and the sprays and the homemade cards and things like that. And Barbara was just kept on talking about this gift card, this $50 gift card, and she just kept on saying, it would be nice just to get told, thank you, and here's a gift card to this restaurant or to that restaurant, or they always want to give us pizza. That's what they do at our school. They give us pizza and things like that. And I mean, it's I guess it's the thought that counts, but it could be bigger. I know a lot of people's like, y'all appreciate me, y'all can give me some more money, you know what I'm saying? So they were all like just going over how much Teacher Appreciation Day or Week meant to them, and again about how the district never really does anything for them. And to their surprise, a couple of teachers are huddled up in the hallway, and Ava comes up and is like, y'all, they finally came through for us. The district is gifting us tickets to see the Philadelphia 76ers or whatever, the basketball team, and everybody's just going crazy. Like, finally. And then Barbara's like, thank you, Jesus. You always come through. And everybody's like shocked and surprised and happy. Like, I can't believe they're doing it. Like, this is a big deal. And it's floor seats at the end of the day. And then she breaks the news which one of y'all is gonna go, because it's only 2 tickets. So now everybody's like in a panic, and they like, really, you gonna get our hopes up for that? And she was just like, I just like to see the morale and see y'all happy and hyped up, you know, get a little spice in the school. And everybody was just like, really? So then they have like this like meeting to kind of figure out what teacher is gonna get these 2 tickets to the 76ers game. So they throwing out ideas, and they coming up with all this crazy stuff. And at the end of the day, Jacob decides, let's just do like a regular ballot. Everybody casting your votes. Whoever gets the most votes wins the tickets, and it's fair and square, and it is what it is. So everybody was just like, whatever. Okay, but they also agreed to it. So they end up doing that. And in the midst of them going along with, you know, the voting, they're trying to get this teacher to vote for them, that teacher to vote for them, trying to have their own, what do you want to call them, like the campaigns, like why you should vote for me. No, this is why you should vote for me. No, this is why you should vote for me. Like, what you mean? Like, I do this and I do that. And so it was just like a whole bunch of drama throughout the teachers, to where they ended up starting getting attitudes with each other, going back and forth, throwing digs at each other. Y'all, it was a complete mess. But these 2 little tickets to the game. So in the midst of this Teacher Appreciation Day, we learned that Janine's sister Aisha is coming to visit, and she's super excited about it. And she had basically invited the teacher gang to a game night at her house on one of the nights that her sister would be there, so that they could get to know her sister, that they could see how, you know, tight they are. You know how she just hypes up this relationship, trying to make it seem like it's more than what it is, and then she comes across very like awkward, and everybody's just like, you know, that's just Janine. And so she's like excited, and she's like making room for her sister at her apartment. And then the day comes for her sister to come and stay and, you know, get together. And even when her sister Aisha first walks in, she's like, oh, okay, it's very Janine in your apartment, like it's very you. And Janine's like, you know, going through this whole list of all these plans that she has for them to do. And she's like, you know, I kind of had plans with some people that I know, you know, since I'm back home. And Janine was like, what? Like, you just got here and now you're leaving? And so that kind of like bothered her and made her feel a type of way. And we learned later on in the episode why. And so her sister was like, I mean, I'm sorry, but I have some plans with some friends. And she decides to just kind of go out and do her own thing. And James was like, okay, you know, I'll see you and get her. But remember, we got game night tomorrow with my friends, and you better be there because it's centered around you, basically. And she was like, okay. And for anybody that watched the episode yesterday, like, did y'all feel like her sister was going to be on some more, like, weird stuff? Because the way that she was introduced a couple of episodes ago when she was on the FaceTime, and then when she first walked into the apartment on this episode, she was kind of like goofy, like, kind of like awkward. And I was just like, is she like something mentally going on with her? Like, why is she doing that? But then as the episode went on, it was just kind of like her like goofy type of frumpy, I don't know the other type of words to describe her, like attitude, like personality. And then like she was like, oh, okay, she's a whole little vibe. I like Aisha. So now we're back to the teacher ballot boxes. And we get everybody back in the room. Everybody's still yelling, like not yelling, but like going back and forth about why they should deserve it and throwing the digs at each other. So Ava's like, look, let's just vote. Let's just figure out who it is and let it all be over with, because y'all stressing me out. And so she pulls out the thing, and it's Mr. Johnson, of all people, the custodian. So he's like, yeah, you know, going off like, I knew it. And everybody's looking around like, what? He's not even a teacher. And he's like, I done subbed so many times for y'all better shut up, basically. And they was, and then Ava, which I asked the same question the exact same time Ava did, and was like, why y'all mad? Y'all put him in the ballot box. And then everybody was like, yeah, but we didn't think he was gonna actually win. And so he's, you know, ripping and running and happy and stuff like that. And then everybody just like, I can't believe it. It's a whole sham. It's a scam. Like, why would they only give 2 tickets? Just mad. So now, y'all, it's game night. We have Erica, I believe it was, and Jacob and Greg, Janine, and Aisha. Very small little game night party or whatever. And they're playing some type of game because Janine told the teachers, she told Jacob and whoever else wanted to come to bring their own game. And so they're playing the game that Jacob brought. It's very complicated. Everybody's like trying to understand the flow of it, what you're supposed to do. And as they're playing it, Aisha posed a question like, am I the only one that doesn't understand this game? And then Janine said something to her and then said something else. And then throughout this entire time, you can see that there's like some type of like something going on with Janine. She seems like uneasy. She seems like very like she's being very kind of petty, and she's like subliminally like throwing like a lot of shade. And Aisha's picking up on it, because at first I was, it was a whole little vibe, like everybody is liking her. She done came out of her shell. She's ready to get the beer and the alcohol cracking, get the party lit. And they're like, okay. And that's when I was like, okay, she's not a little weirdo. Like she's really like coming into her own. You're starting to see like she's more of the partier, or the one that had the most friends, and more free to do what it is that she wanted to do, which is some of the shade, I should say, that Janine was throwing her way. But she was using the game that they were playing as like a metaphor to like throw the shade and dig at her sister, and then the sister was doing the same exact thing to her. And then you could see like the friends, they're just like looking around like, okay, like did I miss something? Like what's going on? And Jacob whole time thinking they talking about literally the game, and everybody just looking at him like, are you serious? And so they get into this little spat, and Aisha just walks out. And so Janine is like, you can't just walk out of here, like you're staying here, where you going? And she's like, I don't know. And she still walks out the door. And so in the meantime, while they're outside and she's chasing her sister down, Erica scoots on over and she makes like this little comment. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I did. She made this little comment like she knew some things that was going on at the teacher conference, because she kind of slid next to Greg or Jacob, one of the two, and was just like, I heard about the teacher's conference. And Jacob, it was Jacob, because he was like, yeah, we had fun and we did this and we did that. And then she said something else and kind of looked at Greg again, and he looked at the camera like, oh shoot. And then let's take it back a little bit. When she mentioned that her sister was coming to visit in the beginning, and she was having a card party, not a card party, a game night or whatever. Did y'all see how when Greg looked at the camera and said he would be there, and he was kind of like, and then she looked at the camera when he said that he was gonna be there, like, because again, we all know they like each other for real. So while they were, waiting for Janine and her sister to come back in from arguing outside, they had their own little, conversations going on. So we go outside and they're going back and forth about this childhood stuff that they have suppressed for so long. And that's what I meant by relationships in this entire episode, because the sisters felt a type of way about each other as they grew up. And as they became adults, Janine felt like her sister left her to fend for herself and be by herself and take care of their mom. The sister felt like Janine was this perfect person that everybody was rooting for, and just looked at her like she was a failure. So instead of staying and feeling that way, she just left and did her own thing. So you learned kind of the basis of the dysfunction that Janine always talked about, and like the kind of like distance between her sisters and them with their mom. And you also see like how by just not communicating with people, you have all of these assumptions in your mind and you create these things, which is crazy because I just got through having a conversation about this. And you create these things and you believe that, and you're left that because you don't want to be the one to bring it up, or you just feel like this is what it's going to be. And we see clearly that it causes more harm than good, because for so long the sisters have not been super close because this person felt this way and that person felt that way, and all they really had to do was sit down and have a conversation. So that's what they were doing. And even for a little bit of the conversation, they did, have a little yelling back and forth, because when they took it back into Janine's apartment with all her other friends there or whatever, you could kind of hear them outside through the window. And they eventually, you know, spoke on, like I said, how they felt about each other, how they felt about growing up, how they felt about their adulthood now and their relationship now. And Janine, you know, just basically said, you know, I feel like you left me. Like I said, I feel like not only did you just leave me here with mom, like you left me, like you didn't think about me. And her sister Aisha, you know, apologized. Janine apologized, and then we you know, Jacob comes through with the comedic relief, because it was a very serious and like kind of tearjerker moment if you've ever been in that type of situation. So he comes out with the comedic relief, tells them that they need to get on in there, finish playing the game, and they're kind of like trying to like block their tears and be like, okay, we'll be in there in a second. And then all's well that ends well with that. So then later on, the next day or two, whatever, the teachers are still kind of like beefing, kind of pissed off or whatever. They're all sitting in the lounge, and Ava walks in, and she was like, she could feel the vibes, like she could feel the energy was off, because nobody was kikiing in the corner and laughing and joking and stuff. And so she made a comment about that, and then somebody just broke the ice and was just like, you know what, like, let's just forget about it. I can't believe like two little silly tickets caused us to go at each other like that. And you know, then all of a sudden Mel and Barbara, because they had some words back and forth during the whole voting thing, and they decided to end the beef, throw the white flag, and apologize to each other. And they just realized how silly it was to even have let something like that just get in between what really was important to them. And we see basically towards the end of the episode that Barbara is like, you know, yes, it would have been nice if it was, you know, tickets for everyone, but it's not. And what is most important is the people that you work with, the bonds and the relationships that you build with the people that show up every day, who have a passion and a heart for children, and for the students who we are helping to grow and be a part of their lives, and the parents and the families that are there with us doing the same thing. And what's most important is just making that difference. What's most important is just showing up and just being who we are, loving on each other, because we are a family here. Even though, you know, we have our own flaws and things that, you know, we may not always agree with, but at the end of the day, like, I got your back, you got my back. I scratch your back, you scratch my back, and we keep it there. That's what makes us come to work. That's what makes us want to do what we do, because we know that we have a village. And I was like, you better preach, Barbara. Because when you work with people that you know have the same mindset and heart as you, it makes things so much better, y'all. So much better. And then after that, we see Aisha. She pops up on Janine, looking at her workplace, goes into her classroom. They have another little moment, talk about their mom a little bit, and how, you know, they still don't really, haven't talked to her, really don't have that type of relationship, but they want to. What I got from was that they want to try to build and start over and get to know each other all over again, and let the past be the past. And I was just like, yay. So this is where everything just takes a turn for the worst. At the end of the day, Ava gets a email, maybe printed out, or a letter from the district saying that the legendary, which is like the whole charter school situation, the person that runs it, is going to take to the board the motion to make Abbott Elementary into a charter school. And she reads it out loud, and the lady is there standing in front of her who handed her the letter, and she just kind of looks down. She looks shocked. She looks surprised. She's like, what the heck is going on? And I was just like, what a way to end the show. Like, wow. Like, they really are going to come for Abbott's head. And I am really, like, waiting to see how that's going to happen. Because at first she was all for it. Then she was like, no, we're not going to do it. And now they're like, well, we taking it to the board. We going to see if everybody vote on it. And we're going to make Abbott a charter school. And nobody wants that. So we shall see what comes of that, y'all. And the ending, Mr. Johnson, He's having a good old time at the game, and all the teachers are watching clips from the game on the computer in the lounge the next day, and they have this segment, I guess, during halftime. A guy walks up to him, asks him, did he want to participate in this like $1,000 prize trivia thing? And he's like, sure. What's up? And again, these seats are courtside. I said, okay, come on, district with the courtside seats. And nobody knew that he was a janitor. But the question was, can you name in 30 seconds, I believe it was, like 10 cleaning products? And he just kind of looks like, oh, I got this in a bag. And of course, he did. He won $1,000. And he won a $50 Buffalo Wild Wings gift card. If you know, you know. Who was looking at the camera like, I'll be dang it. And that was pretty much the show, y'all. It was very good. I really liked it, especially the situation between the sisters. Like that, I hold near and dear to my heart for various reasons. But I really enjoyed it. And again, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen with all of this charter school stuff. And I don't know how many, this was episode 18. I'm not sure how many more episodes there's to go. I want to say when I Googled it, they said like 20 something episodes. So maybe we got like 4 or 5 more episodes to go. Either way, this show was the bomb, and I can't already wait to see how it's going to end and how season 3 will be. I just hope the show keeps getting better and better, which I know that it will. And I'm going to get better and better by putting them up right after the show goes off like I used to, y'all. So please bear with me. Like I said, I'm getting back into the swing of things after surgery and being off of work, and now I'm back. It's just a lot. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the comments, those who do comment, and come back again next week. Peace.